Okay guys, we are here with the current race director of the MaxiRace Cape Winelands, Andri. This is his third year as the race director. He is really a man behind the scenes who puts in a massive shift getting everything ready for the runners to take on the various epic routes coming through the winelands. Andri, with just over a week to go until the 2024 edition, how are you feeling?
I keep telling people it feels like I just want to go on my knees and cry sometimes. It's the last 2 weeks are always like everything just comes together. It's like these thousands of strings just suddenly fall out the ceiling, and you've got to get them all together and sort of weave something coherent. And I think the biggest, this is like where the biggest challenge of events organizing comes in, is you've got a year to plan. And because it's so far in advance, you like planting seeds, and then suddenly, with like 2-3 weeks to go, everything just comes up at once. And like the great thing is that all your service providers, all your partners, volunteers, like for the last 6 months, they're like, Maxi's fall off. They're not thinking about it, but now suddenly it's front of mind for them as well. So it's like it's not just me that's jumping up and getting things ready. The team's also jumping and everything's coming together. So so fortunately, even though there's stress in organizing, the people are coming to the party, and we're quite excited to get going for next week.
That's awesome. And I believe that you've at this current moment got a team out doing some route clearing, making sure everything's neat and tidy. We've got a section of the 75k route in the background. Chat to us a little bit about what those runners can expect and how the conditions of the trails are looking.
So everyone knows what happened last year, and we just spoke about it now beforehand off camera, is that we're excited by the fact that September's been quite dry. So conditions underfoot aren't as wet. It's not waterlogged at all. So even if there is a bit of rain, it should rush off the surface. There's a little bit of rain predicted next week, early in the week, which should compact the dust a bit. So that's the technical side. You obviously want to hear about the beautiful experience, but we're very fortunate last year to have gotten Cape Nature properly on board as a race partner, as a location partner, and everyone who lives in the Cape, who runs far and hikes, have seen that amazing photograph of this beautiful valley or kloof running down with these canyons on both sides and rocky outcrops on either side reaching up into the sky. Now that kloof is called Asagabos Kloof, and it's a protected area under the Cape Nature banner. It's protected because of the ceruria flower that grows there, and we're very, very fortunate to have gained access to that kloof as part of our route. So where we ran up Montrechal and then through Bangor Conservancy in the past, we've always said for like 5 years that we want to come over the back of Jonkershoek, over Berg River Neck, and come into Jonkers. And last year we finally got that approval, and then a week before the race last year, Franschhoek flooded, and obviously it was tragic. It was terrible what happened, but we still wanted to put the race on, and we managed to reroute it in a way for us to still come over there. But with all the rains the previous night, we were actually caught quite off guard, and we're very fortunate to have still been able to put up the race. We had to short course it, and most of the runners actually didn't get to experience it. So this year we've got 21, 22 degrees forecast. We've got, I think Tuesday is raining 0.5 millimeters, so it's going to be perfect. It's going to be a lovely day, and runners can finally, everyone who's fit enough and who makes the whole distance, will be able to come through Asagabos Kloof over into Berg River Neck, right at the back behind that massive mountain, and run the panorama route down into the bottom of Jonkershoek and then down to Stellenbosch. So if you're running that 75k route, we really feel it's one of the best sub 100k's in the country, with Montrechal and Franschhoek running Berg River Valley, Asagabos Kloof over into Jonkershoek. It's really absolute prime territory. It's beautiful. We were up there last week clearing, and the flowers are out. It's spring. It's really going to be amazing.
Love it. Those are a couple of special trails that you mentioned: Montrechal, Jonkershoek, even going around the Berg River Dam, which is nice and full. And looking to the shorter distances, the marathon and the 30k, I believe the runners have got something new in store. Off camera, Andri mentioned a cool idea for me, which is having a Cape Epic styled kind of change each year with something new and fresh, and continuing to kind of showcase the best trails that are in the area in the Winelands. So what can our marathon and 30k runners expect from this year's event?
Yeah, so to just stay stuck on the 75k, but we want to create that as our flagship race, as the race to come and win. And we want to set as much as we can on the same route every single year. Obviously there's small changes, but we feel, or at least I feel, and I know I'm selling it in a measure to our team, is that the sort of that 30-45k distance runner, they're runners who often want something fresh. They want to try new things. A lot of weekend warriors who want to see new places. So we're just so spoilt around Stellenbosch to have beautiful different locations, and we think it could be a great idea to sort of rotate what we do on the 30 and the 45k, if not every year, but maybe every 2 years. Try new locations, try new areas. And when Maxi started, we ran around Simonsburg, and we're finally going back there this year. We had a great relationship with Marathi wine farm out on that side, and we're very fortunate to have Stellenbosch trail legend Mirand Botha and Ditopia on board helping us that side. So the 45 and the 30 will be starting at Marathi wine farm. It's beautiful out there, and the 45k will do a beautiful loop on the slopes of Simonsburg before coming back through the farm, and then linking up with the 30k running towards Idis Valley Trails, which is amazing. It's probably the most unspoilt and undiscovered area around Stellenbosch. If you're a runner or a mountain biker, Jan Hendricks and his team does an amazing job out there, building trails, developing the area, making it safe. And his team, the Idis Valley Community Trails team, they're going to manage that section for us. So, I mean, you're going to run around Idis Valley Dam through a sort of a trail forested area that you didn't even know existed, before going under the culvert and the Helshoogte Pass up to Botmaskop. So very excited for runners to see that area. It's not an area that most people have seen, and obviously we're going to finish with Botmaskop, which is an iconic area as part of the route. And then Landsrak Farm has also been very gracious to offer us access to their farm against the Botmaskop side. You can't run on the farm there during the week. It's exclusively available to us. There are some legacy sections from Origin of Trails, so there are 1 or 2 small trail sections, and there are 1 or 2 surprises on Landsrak Farm that you didn't know existed, which are absolutely amazing to run on. So we're quite excited to take runners there. And then our 20 and our 10k race will also go up into Botmaskop and do that same Landsrak loop. So our 5k all the way up to the 45k on the Stellenbosch side fall very much in the same trail footprint.
Beautiful. And Andri, from the Maxi side of things and the brand, I think it's a bright brand. It's exciting. It does give kind of this intrigue of I want to try new things, and I feel like that is also reflected in this year's merch. Without giving too much away to the runners, chat to us a little bit about that design and just the local artists that you managed to get involved.
Yeah, unfortunately we can't tell people because the merch has been released publicly. So Maxi shirt has always been bright and colorful, and like last year we went completely way out with the shirt, and every year we try and keep a little bit of the same but still change it quite a lot. So there's been this evolution of the shirt having the bright icons. Last year we introduced sort of new graphics, more in a retro feel to the merch, and then this year, it's funny, the story actually starts at the end of last year. I walked into Balance Coffee Shop, which is at the Jonkershoek Gate, probably one of the best coffee in Stellenbosch. But we had a night run here, and I walked into the shop and I saw this graphic photo or a graphic design on the wall of Picker with colourful proteas and fynbos, and I thought that needs to be on next year's shirt. So I spoke to Dirk de Tooy, who's the owner of Balance, and asked him, who made that photograph? Do you know who that guy is? And he said, yeah, it's Gideon Nel. So I reached out to Gideon Nel. He's got his own studio. It's called Gideon Nel Studio, as artists normally call their businesses. And I said to him, listen, this image that you created, I want that image on the Maxi shirt next year. And I sent him the photographs of previous shirts, spoke to him about what the vibe was, and he was extremely excited to get on board. I just gave him one requirement is that we still keep some of the Maxi icons, even though they are in faded grey on the sleeves, because it's the icons are iconic to Maxi. So we've still got that on there, but it's something completely different again this year. And what's great for us is when some of our former runners go and run other events and other races across the country, you can spot the Maxi shirts in the lineup on the trail. So this is another shirt that you will see, and it will stand out everywhere else.
Love it. The Maxi athletes standing out. That is so cool. It does feel a bit like a family.
Sorry, so I also want to add that socks, sorry, what do you call them? Socks, not socks footwear. Is it socks footwear?
Socks footwear? I don't know.
SOX.
Oh, yeah. SOX, yeah. Socks.
It is,
yeah.
but the business is called Socks
Let me
Footwear.
Google it.
Yeah. So we're very fortunate to have Socks Footwear also on board as a partner this year, and they adapted that design for us onto 3 different styles of socks, as well as performance sleeves or arm warmers for the layman, and they look fantastic. They really are incredible. We will have them on sale at the race village.
Awesome. You can be Maxi from head to toe. I love it. And Andri, I mean, we've seen a growth in the sport in general. You spoke about the 75k being the flagship event, and I think Maxi, because of the multiple distances, it is kind of a draw for the whole family. There's something for everyone, and yeah, I think Maxi has gone from strength to strength in the past couple of years. But what do you see? What is your hope in terms of future of the race? What are you still excited about in the years to come?
So, when I joined Maxi, the dream was already there for it to sort of be the comrades of trail running, and not necessarily, taking 10,000 people over the longest possible trail distance. It's just about numbers, and sort of that one race that if you're a road runner, that's the race you want to run. And that's what we want in Maxi. But we also want it to be for everyone. So we didn't just want to create this, flagship exclusive race with a potential 20k. And funny, when I joined, we had a 20 and a 13, and we just said, listen, if you want a lot of people to run the longer distances, get a lot more people to just get on the trail. So we sort of played a bit with the distances. We added a 7k last year and a 30k. Now 30k is absolutely boomed, which is fantastic because it's a stepping stone between the 20 and the 45. And then this year we decided, it's great having something for everyone, but let's just consolidate it a bit. And we pulled the 7 and the 13 together into a 10k. It's nice and round. A lot of people aim for that distance, and we also felt maybe it encourages that 13k runner to push up towards the 20. And then we've added a 5k fun run, which is free to enter. You can bring your dog, you can bring your kids and balance bikes and everyone. It's actually just a bit under 5k's. And it's just to get people at the race village, get people involved. We want them to see 75k runners finishing, getting a medal, being excited, having people there support them, and it's just about continuing to build community around trail run. We've officially it is a social group, but Stelly Shakeout is, I almost want to say, our host club, if you want to use a road running comparative, but they assist us with all our recce runs. They provide a lot of volunteers, and that's sort of the start for us of building community around the event, is to bring in our biggest community run group. We want to bring in more local groups. We want to make Maxi for everyone. We've got a crew competition where we offer a hospitality area for the crews. They have the most entries and the most cumulative entries. So Maxi it's not exclusive, it's not high end, it's not, it shouldn't be a mission to get to Maxi. It's a community event. We want anyone who feels that they enjoy running should feel like, we can come and run Maxi, we can come and experience it. And that's why we've also got a kids area, live music. You should come to the race village even if you aren't running. That's the idea we want to create, because next year we want you're going to skip the 5k and go straight to the 10, and then in 5 years time we'll be running the 75.
That's epic. A family affair. I really just like this theme that's coming through of pulling the community in, making it a space where everyone can join. The trail culture is really there. So Andri, thank you. We're excited. If you see this man in the lead up to Maxi, give him a high five and ask him if you can buy him a coffee, and then a beer once the runners are all safely home. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you in and around your race village in just over a week's time.
Yeah, thank you very much. We're very excited to welcome you. And just sort of a last note, which is good news. It couples with the fact that there's going to be good weather all the way to Saturday. Is we have a new entry system where you can actually enter the race online right up until race day. So if you wake up closer to next weekend, you feel, let's go and run Maxi next week, you can still enter on the day. And our shorter distances are in the afternoons. It's just to spread the day a bit, create a little bit of a different trail experience. If you wake up next Saturday morning and you feel you want to get outside, enter MaxiRace, arrive at the race village and just come and have a good time.